What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shogi from Shook Earth Media, and today we're looking at Fear of the Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 5. Now, I just gave a good review to World Beyond, and it was crazy. And, like, halfway through this episode, I was like, oh, is it going to be 2 for 2? Is it going to be 2 for 2? And, this episode has a lot of fun parts. It has a lot of good elements. There's some logical things and some plot things that aren't lining up for me. So I can't say it's a full 2 for 2, but it's mostly more good than bad. I did enjoy this week, and it's entertaining. It got some new characters and stuff, and this is a Dwight and Sherry episode, and I'm a fan of those characters. Last season we had this whole storyline where like, oh, we can't be together because Sherry wanted to defeat Negan, and I wasn't a fan of that storyline. It just felt like artificially trying to keep them apart, just have some conflict. But now they're back together, and I really like that. And they have I like the idea here, where like they are these figures that are these like what they call them, the Black Riders or something like that. Or Black Horsemen, or I don't remember exactly, but they have a catchy name. And they're these outlaws wandering through the wasteland, and they're helping people, and they have a code of honor. I like all these ideas. It's all good ideas. But where it doesn't really stick the landing for me is, like, we don't get to see what their code of honor actually is. Like, we can kind of infer based on a couple things, but we don't really get to see too much of it. I don't know how they're interacting, how they're finding other people to help. In this nuclear wasteland. I mean, there aren't that many people, right? So these two guys on the right, they steal somebody's food, and they're getting it back. And then they get some of the food in return. I like the idea. Again, but we don't see this other guy that they stole food from. We're just, I trust them in this scene, but, like, as an audience, we didn't get to see any of that. So if there were other characters, I would question if that actually happened or not. But we don't actually get to see this other guy. And to me, it's just like there's other people just wandering around. Why wouldn't you join forces with them and try to, like... I don't know. I don't really get it. And these characters would be a lot more believable if there wasn't the nuclear apocalypse thing going on. And again, they're very fast and loose with the rules about this radiation and stuff. I don't know a lot about it. I'm not a nuclear scientist or anything. But in this episode, they're taking their masks off all the time. They're putting them back on. They're taking them off. They have this underground facility where they open up the gates, but the people inside don't have any masks on, but they do, and then they take them off before they even shut the thing, and there's no, like, filtration. I don't know. It just feels like it shouldn't work like that. I don't know. Definitely correct me if you're a nuclear scientist or something. I would like to know. I really would. But it just feels like the rules aren't really all that significant, except for when the plot needs them to be. So that's a bit annoying. But, I can deal with that. I understand. You see in this scene why they do that. Because we hear dialogue, but it's not always obvious who's saying what. Because we got the masks on. Right? So... they try to fix that a little bit with them, like, moving as they talk. But sometimes it was like, okay, who's talking? This guy? Or I didn't realize at first that, it should be obvious that it's Dwight and Sherry and stuff. But anyways, so that's the premise of this part. And then Dwight and Sherry pull up, and they, on the script, so he's holding this fruit out. And then they shoot the fruit out of his hand. Which is a very Western thing, and it could be kind of fun, but the thing is, like, that works on paper, right? Oh, they shoot the fruit out of his hand. But in real life, like, the bullet wouldn't stop there. It would probably... It could go hit his hand, it could go through him and hit the other person, so they have this code of honor, they won't hurt anybody. That wouldn't be in the code of honor. Like, it wouldn't stop the bullet. And you don't know where his hand is at, and how do they... I mean, they're acting like John Dory all of a sudden. They have this extreme accuracy, and, even John Dory wouldn't take that shot, I don't think. So, I don't know. It's fun on paper, but it just in reality it's not. It doesn't track for me. But yeah, they have a standoff. One of them goes for the gun, and then they kill him. You know, which that makes sense, and it's all good. And then the one guy gets away, and then they take their masks off. I get the director wants them to take the mask off, which the director is actually Lenny James in this episode. So really good to see that they're letting Lenny James direct some stuff. Definitely glad he's able to expand his horizons a little bit. I don't know if he's directed stuff before, but that's cool to see. I really like how Walking Dead has let their actors take the helm. So that's been cool to see. So, yeah, and then this is the family that they survived with. And they want to leave, but Sherry and Dwight are like, oh, we'll find something. They're looking for Padre as well. We've been hearing a lot about Padre. We've been setting that up. I'm curious to see what the payoff for that is going to be. It feels like I don't know. I'm not really sure what we're even supposed to... Like, we hear about Padre. I don't know what they want us to think it is. It's just it's a group. It's a place. It's where people live. I don't know. And also, if this is a place where people are surviving, if they want people to come there, I mean, is it a terminus situation? And if it isn't, like, wouldn't they make it easier to find them? Wouldn't they be telling, okay, you go here to go to Padre? I don't know. So, I guess that's where Alicia is, so we'll see her when we get there. So, I'm curious about it, but I'm skeptical of it. What's the point? I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah, and I mean, this is a nice scene. It's good, well acted and stuff. And I love the Dwight character and Sherry characters. They're really great, and their actors are really good. And it's been really nice to see them in this episode. Okay, and then we get some of these scenes, and I like this shot here, where we're looking through the mask at our characters, but they overuse it so much in this episode. Like, it gets to the point where it's very distracting. Like, you can do this once or twice, but after a while, it's just very limiting. And it honestly gives me kind of a headache when they keep cutting back to it. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. I like the shot, but they use it way too much. That's where I'm at with it. And then they get set up. And again, they have the masks off again. Like, the readings are clear here, but there's, like, fog everywhere. I don't know. I don't really get it, what the point of the masks is. So, I don't know. And also, just everybody has masks all of a sudden. Everybody has radios. Everybody has, like... There's all this stuff that should be rare. And everybody just has it, because the plot needs them to have it, So, I don't know. It seems a bit much to me. But then they're taken back to see Strand. And I love this scene! This is my favorite scene in the episode. This is the most Strand thing to do. He's just, let's see if we can play it, but he's just playing golf. He's just playing golf and shooting balls into the walkers. And I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm loving Strand this season. His performance, amazing. I like this character. All that's great. So yeah, I like Strand. And how, like, even when he turns around and sees it's Dwight and Sherry, and then he just throws the club without even looking, like, to his to the people working for him. Just his attitude, the way he's acting, it's working for me. I'm digging it. This community that they're setting up is interesting. Now, Sherry's really against joining them. And, I'm a little confused as to why. Now, Strand does say that they don't have Morgan, they won't let Sarah in, and somebody else. So, I can understand why that would lead them to hesitate. But even before that, they were against it. And they keep making comparisons that Strand is like Negan somehow. And I just don't see it. I mean, maybe he's enslaving these people, but Negan was the guy in charge. He forced you to work for him. He stole your stuff. He forced you to... Well, he forced Sherry to marry him. I'm pretty sure he gave the rest of the women the choice, but still, like, he's forcing people to do stuff. I don't necessarily get that impression from Strand so far. And if we're supposed to pick up on, I don't know. I can get being skeptical, but just being like outright, no way, we're joining you. It seems like it's not in their best interest. So, and this is the other thing. Like, they set up, Strand wants them to find a person that escaped and wants them to bring her back. And that's fine, but, like, they find her, like, instantly in this episode. And it's like, why couldn't Strand's people find her? Like, why did we need... What about Sherry and Dwight makes them able to find her better? I don't know, maybe he was just trying to convince her, and he knew his people couldn't convince her. So that to me leads credence that he's not trying to take her by force. By trying to send third party in to try to convince her to come back, instead of just capturing her and taking her by force, that makes him less oppressive, right? I don't know, I don't really get that part. So I don't really get why Strand really needs them for this. So that I don't get. With the things we set up so far, I definitely see why Strand wants them in his group. But, I'm not really sure about why he needs them. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. And, I mean, it's pretty much instantly they're able to find her. And this is actually, Aisha Taylor, I forget right now, but she actually directed Fear Walking Dead episodes and World Beyond episodes. So we have an actor, Lenny James, becoming a director, and we also have the director becoming an actor in this, and I like it, and I like her character. It's interesting. She's like a person that used to be a professional wrestler, with her husband, and I love that concept, and Dwight recognizes her, and it's a great scene. They do a little montage here with her fixing up things with duct tape. And the montage for me doesn't really work because it's just one shot and they just cut it over and over again. So I didn't really like that. I didn't really like that. But yeah, I like this character. She's cool. Mickey, I think her name is. Yeah, she's pretty cool. And they have fresh bottled beer. I don't know about that. 10 years old beer. I don't know if it'd be any good. So, I don't know. We keep coming back to beer in this series. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so I like the scene with Dwight recognizing her and that backstory and stuff. That's cool. And she doesn't want to go back to Strand. We don't really get good reason why, but she doesn't want to go back to Strand, and she wants to find her husband, so that's how we set this up. I feel like we could have just gone straight to that instead of going to see Strand. I get we want Strand in this episode, but instead of having the whole deal set up and all that, it's confusing to me. And then we go back to the cellar where they're staying, and the family has been killed. And that's a tragic scene, and, I like the scene. And then they bury them and all that, and now Dwight wants to go back, and they have this disagreement where Sherry's like, no, we shouldn't go back to Strand, and Dwight's like, we should. And then Sherry and Mickey run off, and they're like, bye, Dwight, we'll see you later. And, I do like that conflict. It does work. But here's where it falls apart to me. So we find out later in the episode that the people that killed the family, it turns out it was the guy from the beginning of the episode. So everybody knows everybody in this world. It's a bit strange to me that everybody's just magically in touch. And there's a lot of coincidences going on. But the guy from the beginning was hired by Strand to kill the family, which is like, I didn't even know Strand knew about the family, because if he did, why didn't he use that in the negotiations and say, hey, we know you're surviving with this family, and we can help them too. That would be the best argument he could use. And in fact, it was the reasoning Dwight gave in this scene as to why they should go back to the tower. So killing the family, or not this scene, but earlier, killing the family, to me, is completely counterproductive for what they're trying to achieve, which is Dwight and Sherry joining the tower, and Mickey to come back as well. And killing the family, to me, again, like, that's their biggest bargaining chip. Like, hey, we can help this family with this kid. We know that they're not going to be able to survive on their own, and we can help them, we can feed them, we can clothe them, etc. So that, to me, it seems completely counterproductive. that he would hire. Also, why would he need to hire somebody? Why wouldn't he just send his own soldiers to kill them? You know, like, I don't get it. It seems very forced. And, yeah, that's the logical issue that really takes this episode apart to me. I get we want Strand to be evil and all that, but I don't get how killing the family helps his cause at all. And it's, yeah, that's honestly what makes the episode not work for me, ultimately. I would have, if they had something else, I would have been able to forgive a lot more because, you know, I like the Dwight character, the Sherry character, and all that, and I like this new character. There's a lot of good elements going for this episode, but just that logical issue just completely destroys the whole plot for this episode for me. You know, I don't get why killing the family helps Strand in any way. So that's where I'm at with it, guys. I mean, he's hiring all these third parties to do his bidding when he has an army. I don't get that. It doesn't make sense to me, you know? Like, what's the point? And yeah, this is the standoff with the guy from the beginning. And also, the guy from the beginning, he just murdered a whole family of people. And yet, he doesn't just shoot Dwight on sight. Like, why wouldn't he just kill him right away? You know, and he's like, oh, I don't want to waste a bullet. Which, you know, I guess makes sense. But, like, I don't know. It just doesn't work. And then he spills out all these photos. And that's how you know it's part of Strand's thing. And he says that Strand hired him. I don't get it, man. I really don't, you know? Like, hey, kill this family and also start taking pictures for us, you know? And you can come join us. I don't know, man. Yeah, and the whole way this standoff plays out, like, he's got the horse here, and then Dwight whistles, and then the horse kicks him. What? And then he takes his mask off? Like, none of that made any sense to me. Like, you really train the horse to kick at a specific time just for this one scenario? I mean, maybe horse people, equestrians, I think it's the right word. Comment below if that's a thing that you can command horses to do. I just feel like it's not something you would train a horse to do. I don't know. I don't know, it's goofy. And then him taking his mask off, you know, again, I get why they want it to happen, so you can see the face and the emotions and stuff. I don't know. And then we have Sherry and Mickey, they go to the gym, which is where they think her husband is, and it's surrounded by walkers, because there's a sign loose and it's making a loud noise, it's drawing them. I like that they actually justify that. You know, they have a justification for that. That's nice. And then they're doing the guts trick, which, you know, is predictable, but they have horses, right? I don't get why they don't do the corral trick that we did in season 6 of the original show, where we just, like, get their attention, lead them away, and then break in. You know, that seems a lot less risky to me. Especially they don't have much ammo, but they could do a shot, you know, in the ground, a warning shot or whatever. Draw the walkers, lead them away, circle back around, and do that. That would be much easier to me. But we want to do the guts trick so we can get up and close and personal, and I get that. I just feel like I don't know, maybe if there was like buildings surrounding it, and they couldn't easily just lead them away. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I do like these shots where you see through the helmet thing, though. That's pretty cool. I like that quite a bit. Yeah, and ultimately this scene's fine, you know, good action scene, and they get inside, and I like the fact that they're in the ring, and then, yeah, again, here's the other point with this, you know, the searching for her husband thing. It's very repetitive, because we just had a whole episode about searching for Wendell, and in that episode, the guy said, hey, if you're searching for him, that means he's alive. Exhibit A, dude. He dead, you know? So that made me laugh. But, yeah, we just had previous episodes about searching for missing people. I mean, we had Dwight searching for Sherry last season. We've had a lot of searching for missing people things. So at this point, it's like, it just feels like a reflex. Like, how many times you're going to go back to the well with that particular plot line, you know? But this is my favorite part of the episode, is I like that they set up, she's about to call Strand because they're surrounded, you know, and they're out of ammo, all that. And then Dwight comes in just in time and tells them the secret, like, oh, they murdered the family, don't call Strand, we can do this. And this scene I really like. They have some licensed music, and it's a fun combat scene. You got Dwight literally smashing a zombie over the head with a chair. You know, it's cheesy, but it works. You know, I love it. So this scene was a lot of fun. Highly enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a great action scene. One of the better zombie scenes we had in this season so far, absolutely. And yeah, one of the best Walking Dead scenes we've had in a while. And they end it with that, you know, her and her husband had this signature move, and we get, yeah, let's see if we can get it. We get this nice finishing move situation going on. Yeah, she jumps on him, takes him out. I love that, and it's a perfect cap to this scene. Something we set up previously, and that's a lot of fun. So I really like that part. And then we get the aftermath where Dwight searched the husband's body, and he left a note. And it's a nice emotional scene. She's a great actress. You know, it works. It plays well. I like this character. I'm glad she's part of the cast now. It's cool. And then we have this really nice scene after that where we had that down point, and now we have Dwight and Sherry, and Dwight reveals that he wants to start a family. He wants to have children. And I love this scene. And it's really nice because I like these characters, you know, and I want them to do that, you know. So I like that scene a lot, you know. And it gets me emotional thinking about it. So yeah, that's a good scene. I really like it. So yeah, we call balls and strikes here on this channel, you know. Not here to hate on this. I love this series, you know. The franchise as a whole, that is. So yeah, we got these gas mask people we've been teasing all season, and they're trying to get Dwight and Sherry's help to find Padre. So that's what we're setting up. We're going to find Padre, and that's the storyline. So that's my review this week, guys. We got some positives. Got a new character that I like. We got Dwight and Sherry. Cool stuff with them. We got a nice action scene in the gym, and some good stuff in general. But then we got the logical issue, like Strand's plan makes no sense. You know, him hiring people to find somebody when he could just send out his own soldiers makes no sense. Him hiring somebody to kill a family to convince Dwight and Sherry, it seems like counterproductive. It seems like the exact opposite of what he's trying to do. And also, he could have his own soldiers do it anyway. So the fact he would hire a stranger to do that, again, makes no sense. So, you know, that's what's not really working for me. But yeah, that's the episode summed up. So some good, some bad, and hopefully it improves from here. So yeah, this might be it's my second favorite behind the pilot this season. You know, I didn't care for many of the previous episodes before this, but this one was pretty decent, and it's probably just because I like the Dwight and Sherry characters. But anyways, getting off on a tangent, repeating myself. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit sub if you want to see more videos like this. Hit like if you like this video. And definitely comment with your opinions down below if you liked it more than I did. Would love to know what you liked about it. And if you have additional criticisms I didn't think of, please post them below or anything like that. Would love to hear from you guys and reply and stuff like that. And I hope to see you in the next video. Alright, peace out everybody. Have a good one.